Welcome to the Breaking the Ceiling 15 Secrets to Creating Extraordinary Wealth Summit. I am excited to sit down and chat with Miss Cassandra Hill. Cassandra Hill is a best-selling author, speaker, master life coach, and holistic wealth expert. What drew me to Cassandra was her definition of wellness. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Miss Cassandra Hill. Cassandra, how are you doing this morning?
I am doing great. How are you?
I am awesome. I am just so excited to be here and to have you here and to speak about this topic because it is just so near and dear to my heart. Being a woman in business and trying to figure out how to balance my wellness with business and family. And I know so many other women are struggling with the same thing. And so what drew me to you was your definition of wellness. When you said that sometimes we think that because we are not sick, that we are well, but it doesn't, that's not what wellness means. So tell me, holistic wellness, what is it? And how did you land here?
Oh my goodness. Holistic wellness, when we think holistic, we're thinking whole, right? So, holistic is your mental, is the spiritual, and the physical. All of those intertwined and working together, allowing you to show up as your best self. That's holistic wellness.
I love that definition because so many times we feel like self-care and wellness is the same thing, but it's not, right? We think that because if we go pamper ourselves, if we take a day off and we go do some nice things, we treat ourselves, we go shopping, we have a manicure, those types of things, that is wellness or that is self-care. But your view is that it is not. You call that pampering. So what
Yeah.
is wellness to you compared to pampering?
Pampering is more mani pedi. You've pampered yourself. That's doing something that really isn't going to add to your quality of life per se. It may be doing a little shopping trip. You might find yourself at Tiffany's or, Saks, just doing a little splurge. That's pampering. Just, it really doesn't contribute to your mental or emotional well being. Whereas when we talk about self care, that's something one that should be done on an ongoing basis. I say self care, those activities really should be done on a daily basis, if not daily, weekly. And those are the activities that fuel your brain, recharge you, re energize you. It may be reading a book, it may be aromatherapy. I know I love essential oils, they help just depending on what you use. One of my favorites, peppermint. That's good for relaxation. Um, Lavender, just various ways to relax the mind. That's a form of self care because literally after doing that activity, your brain releases those feel good endorphins. Same way with exercising. Anything that's going to change the way you think and behave. That's self care.
Okay, so self-care fills you up from within. So you in your daily life, you're running around, you're doing all these different things, you're taking care of your business and you're taking care of your family. One of the things that it's really challenging for me is to find that time to take care of myself, right? So
Mhm.
self-care are the things that will fill you up as you get depleted. So it's like the things that helps to rejuvenate your mind, give you that renewal feeling so that you can now go out and do more and give more to others rather than going out and doing something physical like pampering yourself. That is just something that's surface.
Yeah, you got it. You got it down.
Okay, so I just love that. I think though one of the things that we as women have issues with is self-care takes time, and we're
Mhm.
already busy, and we always feel like we have to give to everyone else before we give to ourselves, right? What do you think about that?
Well, that's a myth, because honestly, when you think about your loved ones, kids, spouse, maybe parents, just all the people that you hold space for, honestly, if you don't take care of yourself first, you're not able to give them what they deserve. So it's really a matter of changing your mindset to realize that yes, I gotta put myself first. And then once my cup is just spilling over, I mean, just going all kinds of directions, then I'm able to pour into the people that I love and care about. And I want to give them my best, but it requires me to be my best. And for many of us, it requires delegation. Everyone here, everyone who's on this planet, we have a assignment. We have a God given assignment. And once we figure out our vision, because he gives us a vision too. Um, Write the vision and make it plain.
Yes.
So once we know that vision, those activities, I guarantee you, there's so many activities that we do in the course of a day that has no correlation to the vision at all. Those are tasks that could be delegated so you can have more time for yourself and for your loved ones as well.
That is so true. And here's the thing though, for us women in business, in and having families, we've been taught by our culture that we should be able to do it all. So when it comes to delegating, even say for example, things in the home that we could delegate to other people to do, we tend to want to do that for ourselves. It's as if we're supposed to do all of it, and if we're not doing all of it, we carry all this guilt. How do you suggest that we deal with that guilt that we carry over delegating those tasks to others?
Yeah. Well, yes, the guilt is real, and I'm gonna tell you something that you might be thinking, wow, I cannot believe you said that, Cassandra. Let them do it anyway. And it's okay. In the beginning, you might have a little guilt, when you see maybe your spouse or one of your kids washing dishes or cleaning up the kitchen, you might have a little guilt, and that's okay. That is normal, for many of us, because like you said, our culture has taught us that you're superwoman. And we are, but super women, you look at the president. Look at the president. This runs the whole entire country, but he has buku's advisors to where he's not doing everything on his own. He's not,
That
you
is
know?
such that is such a great analogy, and we don't think of it that way. And that is a really great way to look at it. Delegation doesn't mean that you're shirking your responsibility. You're making sure that you can actually do more by delegating to others. And so it is basically the best form of self-care to delegate to others to ensure that your responsibilities are getting taken care of, but you are taking care of self as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
that's
I
it.
love, I love,
Yeah.
love, love that. Okay, so what are some misconceptions that people have about self-care, and especially in women? How do people, what ideas do they have about self-care that you see differently and you can basically speak with and shift that so they can now look at it differently. I just had one of those aha moments. So what other aha moments can you speak to that would help them?
Yeah. The one of the biggest myths is the time, not having time. That's the biggest myth ever because we all have 24 hours in a day. And that's plenty of time. Even with getting 6 to 8 hours sleep, you still have plenty of time in a day to do something for you. It doesn't have to be an hour long activity, which me personally, yeah, I want all the time I can get for self care, but you may start out with like 20 minutes a day. That's it's something, it's a start, So you do have time, and it's just a matter of what you're willing to say. Um, a slow yes to and a quick no to. So you can have some.
Okay, so one of the things, again, I love where this is going because as a woman in business myself, I'm building this business that I think is going to speak into other women, which is what I'm
Mhm.
called to do. While I'm doing that, I'm creating I'm taking care of my family, and I have a teenage daughter, and so that it demands a lot of my time, and I have my mom too. So now the thing for me is making time for work and time for family and time for my mom and other activities. It gets to be really hard to say no when I know that I should, right? So there are times that my mom may need something or my mom may need to go someplace, and I need to say no because I need to do something else. And I will say no sometimes, but that guilt after I say no, it's almost as if that guilt is crippling. But you're saying that being able to say no to others, to make space for ourselves. Basically, we have to choose when to be selfish if selfishness to others means that it is providing care for us.
Well, let's unpack that a little
Okay.
because self care isn't self.
Mhm.
Self care is not optional. It is mandatory. It's just like, would you say taking your vehicle to get an oil change? Is that necessary?
Yes, definitely. If you don't take a vehicle for an oil change, it's gonna stop on the road, whatever is gonna happen to it, it's gonna break down, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think part of it is just changing the way we
Think about it.
think about things and the wording we use because sometimes we set ourselves up
Mhm.
for failure, you know. So I know for me, being my first career, for those who may not know, my first career gerontology. I'm a gerontologist. I worked in the field of aging for just over a decade before I became an entrepreneur. And so that sandwich that many people feel, particularly women, and is especially when we talk about Black women, because our culture is we take care of our older
Mhm.
loved ones.
Mhm.
And so when we think about that, having that caregiving responsibility, look at so many options that exist to where your loved one, let's say adult daycare, they can go to adult, just like they have daycare for kids, there's daycare for older adults. And they can go there and be there all day. Get breakfast, a good lunch. I'm telling you, I've been in these places. Sometimes I'm there to, do an assessment or whatever, and I want to stay and eat. And They got some good ones out there, let me tell you. So it's ways that your loved one can get what they need, because many of these um, adult daycares or even in-home senior care, they will take them to the Target, to the Walmart, to the, doctor appointments, all those things. But we feel like, oh, it gotta be me to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, and we just gotta
that's it right there.
reprogram our wording and how we think about things, because it's getting what's done. That's what
Mhm,
counts.
mhm.
You're meeting their need and yours.
So it's not about you doing it personally, but you making sure that it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that removes the guilt and that removes any feelings of being selfish. I love that.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. And it's not something I never even contemplated that. And if there ever was someone who needed that, it was me. That's the truth. Okay, so self-care for everyone represents different things. So if you were to speak to someone right now who's coming to you and saying, I need some help. I don't have any time for myself. I'm not doing the things that can replenish me, make me feel better. I'm feeling burnt out. What roadmap would you give to them to help them to get on the other side of that and become their best selves?
Yeah. Many of the women that I work with are entrepreneurs. So we take a look at you as a person, but we also look at your business as well. And so we unpack that. We look at what you're doing, what activities you're doing in your business, like social media, for example. You may be creating the content, you may be posting, scheduling, all those things. That's something that can be delegated. And for a lot of entrepreneurs, you might think, well, I don't have the budget for that. But you hadn't even took the time to see what the investment would look like. And for many, it's like, yeah, I can do that. You have services like Fiverr that offer social media management, just all these services at a very reasonable price, and you can start there. And then, yeah, you might have a vision to have this big agency later on, but you can start here, and as you grow,
Mhm.
to where you have, whoever you considered expert, but you can still get good service with, something like a Fiverr, something like a Upwork, something like that. So we just look at where they're at business wise, because honestly, um, as we work on you as a person, if we haven't addressed the business aspect, it's not long standing. And my goal when you come work with me, I have a 90-day coaching program, but we implement things that will last a lifetime. I'm not looking to for you to be a forever client. I'm looking to equip you with the tools to make lifestyle changes that'll last for many years to come. So we look at your business, figure out strategies that will increase your visibility.
Mhm.
Yeah, because you need that as a entrepreneur. We look at um, those activities you can delegate, and then online exposure, well as offline exposure, to where we can get your business growing And as your business grows, it makes it even more easier to do the delegation. Then we start unpacking the well being. We start looking at the people in your life, those five, generally five people you spend the most time with. We start looking at those relationships, how you feel when you're around those individuals. And then from there, we're determining healthy relationships moving forward, boundaries moving forward.
Okay. So I am really liking that you're looking at it from both aspects, from the business aspect and from the personal life aspect, because the two, they have to be together to get the results, because there's stress coming from both sides of it. Another area that you look at is spirituality. So, how does spirituality speak into self-care, and how do you help people tap into that spirituality to help them to take better care of themselves?
Yeah, for me in my style of coaching with women, spirituality is really important because it's the foundation. Um, our bodies are temples, and God tells us our bodies are temples. So when you really believe that and know it here, it translates into your behavior. It's just like if you have a kid who believes Santa is real, and in their minds, Santa is real, and us adults, we know the real. Okay, but because the kid believes that, when Christmas Eve rolls around, what are they gonna do?
They're going to wait for Santa. They're going to be all excited. They're going to be looking under the tree every single day. Hey, has Santa come yet? Right?
Yeah, and they're gonna sit out there cookies, milk that you will end up eating, you know. But because they believe it, it affects their behavior. They took action. So, the cookies, milk, they try to stay up, like you said, late as possible because they want to see them.
Mm-hmm.
All those things. It's no different as an adult. When I believe God and He tells me that this body is a temple, I treat it different. Temples, you don't defile a temple. You wouldn't go into the White House and pop a peppermint in your mouth and then just throw the wrapper on the floor
No, you would not.
because you respect where you're at.
Yes.
But with us, we don't fully value ourselves. We don't realize that this body is a temple. And because we don't realize that, we'll put all kind of toxins in this mind.
Mm-hmm.
The things we listen to, the things we watch, the people we're around who communicate, that's to our detriment. We're fine with that because we don't realize this is a temple and I should treat it accordingly. So we get real heavy into that. And one of the ways that we get that understanding that our body being a temple is by us drawing closer to God, beginning our day with meditation, prayer, and then just sitting. Give yourself like 20 minutes of stillness. And in those moments, God is, I promise you, he's talking, but you're not listening because you've been so busy. So in the stillness, you'll actually be able to hear him. And that's when you'll realize your value, your worth. Other ways we tap into that spirituality. I do have a devotional. It's a 28-day devotional. So reading a devotion every day, just reigniting um, that you can overcome with God. Because my devotional, He restored my soul, triumph through adversity. So it's that extra layer of knowing that no matter the challenges I face, God is here with me.
Oh, I love that because I am relearning that. I went through a period where I did not speak to God, and that was for 15 years. I did not speak to God. And I felt lost and I felt abandoned. And it took a lot to get me to the point where I understood that had it not been for him walking with me, I would not be here right now. And so I am right in the middle of relearning and doing all these things that you're talking about, the stillness in the morning, the reading in the morning. And this is like, it is literally transforming my life. And so I think that that's a really powerful thing. And your devotional, can you tell the audience where they can find your devotional?
Sure, you can find it Amazon. It's available online at Walmart, Barnes and Noble online. So just all the major online retailers, you can find it there. And if you would like an autograph copy, just hit me up on Facebook or Instagram and DM me. I have a small, I have like 15 copies right now with my personal stash that I can autograph and we
Okay,
can do a transaction uh,
okay,
that way as well.
y'all heard it, right? If you want an autograph copy, that's available as well. So, final question. We as women in business, as mothers and caregivers, one of the things that we deal with a lot is self-sabotage um,
Mhm.
in our self-care. So we feel guilt, and because we feel guilt, we kind of set up ourselves to to fail in the things that we set up, we the routines that we create for ourselves. So how would you advise us to deal with self-sabotage? Is it something that we need to shift in our thinking?
Yeah, mindset is definitely a part of it. And then having accountability is another thing. And that's why I'm so committed to educating people on the benefits of having a therapist or a life coach because this journey of life is not designed for us to do by ourselves. We should be continually evolving, growing into the best version of ourselves. And in order to do that successfully, it will require support to where someone can let you know.
Um, did I lose you?
Habits when you start thinking that like
I think
oh
I think I lost you for a second, so we need to take it from the top of the question.
okay,
Okay.
all right, so when you start thinking about self-sabotage, that's your brain attempting to say that woe is me, let's stop this,
Mhm.
I'm throwing in the towel. So those moments, that's when you need accountability. You need someone who's going to check you and let you know, like, hey, let's figure this thing out. Let's unpack this and get to the roots. You know, that can come, sometimes it can come from a friend, but oftentimes it's beneficial to have a therapist or a life coach who can guide you, you know, on this journey because you will need support. We all need it. I'm a master life coach, and guess what? I have a coach.
Yes,
You
you
know,
do. Mhm.
everyone needs, you either need a coach or a therapist, but you need someone who's going to holds you accountable to achieving what you communicate you want to achieve, but sometimes you need a push, you know.
Yeah.
And so that's where you're, especially for a life coach, that push comes in.
Okay, I love that. Free steps. So if you were speaking with someone today who is in business like you and I are, which means that you're dealing with stress, you're dealing with family, free steps. You know, they have no self-care routine in place. Free things that can help them right now to start getting on a path to prioritizing themselves and putting themselves first.
Community. Find community. Find a group of ladies who goals align with yours and who's already implementing self-care in some shape, form, or fashion, because they'll help you stay committed to doing the work. Your network, yeah, we know it determines our net worth, but it also shapes our behaviors as well. So finding community is really, really important. I suggest that's the first thing you want to do, find community. Second thing in developing that self-care is just getting started. When you think about even something simple as taking a walk, doing that one time, and then once you get back in, have some minutes to reflect, write how you feel. Because on the days where it's a challenge, like the first day you start and you're able to open that journal and see how good you feel, because anything that makes you feel good, you're going to want to do. You're going to want to participate in. So having a journal really important, having a record of how great you feel engaging in a self-care activity, even if it was just for one day. And that'll motivate you to do it the next day and the next day. And, it creates those habits. Last thing I would say, especially for us entrepreneurs, is realizing that this is this is your business. If you're not here, your business is going to eventually, your business will collapse, because your business will never grow further than you. It's just not possible. If you're the CEO, it can't surpass the owner. So keep that in mind. You built this, you had a why, you had a passion, but in order for your business to really excel and grow, it's mandatory for you to take care of you.
Oh, wow. That is, I think, what a lot of us as women in business, as parents, need to hear. And I am so thankful that you were able to take the time to spend with us, because I know that so many of us, everyone who listens to this interview, is going to benefit from it. So you brought a free gift with you. Can you tell the audience what your free gift is and how it is going to help them?
Oh wow, you're gonna love this gift, Creating a Life You Love. It's an ebook, and in the ebook, it addresses 6 pillars of your life, taps into the emotional, mental, spiritual, just all the things. And with each topic that it addressed, it gives you some pointers on how to start creating the life that you love, the life that excites you, the life that, when you wake up in the morning, you have a joy, you have a, like, yes, this is what I dreamed of. So it will give you those steps for every, the emotional, mental, all the things. You're really gonna enjoy it.
Okay, thank you. And can you please tell the audience where can they find you?
Yes, the easiest way to connect with me is on my Linktree Hiller Cassandra, Linktree Hiller Cassandra. There you'll find all the things, whether it's resources, like my digital courses, um,
Yep.
books. If you want to shop, even got a little clothing store there as well. One of the things that the plus once you connect with me, become a part of my community. The initiatives that I'm a part of, like even with the clothing, I'm an ambassador for Royal Boutique, which is a online, pretty good size online clothing store, but their mission is all about self love. So they decided that they wanted me to partner with them, and I thought it made sense. So when you join the community, anytime you shop with them, you use my code, you get 10% off. But when you go to my link tree, you'll find so many resources to up level your emotional, mental, spiritual well being, and then, like I said, the partnerships that I'm connected to that I can pass forward to you. You'll find it there in the link tree as well.
Okay, so the link for the Create the Life You Love ebook will be included in the video, so you can click on it and get it as you watch the video. Cassandra, I can't tell you how much I enjoyed this. I did it. I got so much value from it, and I know the audience is going to get the same. And I thank you for taking the time to be here. And I look forward to doing so many more things with you in the future. Because one of the things that I've learned is that if you want to go fast, if you want to go far, quickly, you can go alone. But if you want to go far, you go together. The more people you have with you who are thinking in the same way that you're thinking, your thinkings are, I'm thinking is aligned, you go farther and you last longer. So I am looking forward to partnering with you and to just having you as part of my community. Thank you so much for doing this.
This has been great. I've enjoyed connecting with you, the audience. I'm looking forward to us continuing this conversation because, me as a speaker, I'm the speaker that I want to hear from you. I want to know your takeaway. I want to know in real life what step you're going to take to become the best version of you. So don't think of this as this conversation is wrapping up. It's only just beginning. So I
Yeah.
look forward to hearing from you, and I'm wishing you love, health, and happiness.
Oh my God. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.